Good afternoon. Welcome to our Community Infinity Safety Awareness podcast, where we always bring the topic which relate to us, which we are worried about, which basically affect and impact our life. But before we go further, we have to acknowledge, we are acknowledging we are on Treaty Land 6, is a land for all the Aboriginal and Métis people who have worked hard. Without their efforts, without their hard work, we have not been here where we are. Before we go further, we always talk about the education. And when we are talking about especially elementary education, we have no other person I could find or think about it except Minister of Advanced Education, Minister Nicolaides. Demetrios has been born and raised in Calgary. He has beautiful two daughters who are also starting the school, who are going to elementary school, grade 1 and grade 4. Thank you, boss. Thank you for taking your time to join us. So I'm going to ask you a few questions as a minister, as a father, and share your experience if that's okay with you.
Of course, yeah, I'd be happy to.
So are you excited they're ready to go back to school?
Yeah, it's an exciting time. I know it's an exciting time for many families in Alberta, and it's an exciting time for us. They start a new grade. So my youngest daughter is starting grade 1, and my oldest daughter is starting grade 4. So really excited. I know they're going to make some new friends and have a new teacher and learn some exciting new things. So I'm excited to help them start. They're starting tomorrow morning, so I'm really excited to see how their first day goes.
I'm looking forward because mine is going to grade 8 and he has changed the school. Also is exciting and it's a little bit challenging too. Demetrios, before we go further, like as the other ministers, you have received a letter from expectation letter from the Premier also. And in the letter, they have also talked about the 5 million support or will be given to the teachers, support for the children's families, parents, everyone, especially related to the children who are, who are feeling autism, who have challenges. We always talk about, firstly, I will be asking you how we are going to implement this program. And the second question, if you can answer all in one, we always talk about implementation, but it's always we fail in sustaining it and reevaluating it. So do you have a plan in place how we are going to do to ensure the program is working?
Yeah, no, thank you. And you're right. In my mandate letter, the Premier has asked me to invest some additional money to support early awareness and detection of autism in children and to support them in their education. We don't yet have a plan or a path to deliver this. The first step, though, that we will be our first step to accomplish this will be to sit down with some of the experts in this area to give us a better understanding of how we can put these dollars to use in the most effective way. So I think it's important that we get advice from some of those experts about what the best thing is to do. And we'll be working with them to figure out where we can start and how we can make sure this program is sustainable.
My second question is, Demetrios, because you are a father, you have two beautiful kids who are going to school, right? And especially the elementary school. And K-6 program, the curriculum has been, gone through so much, the science curriculum has been changed and other subjects have been changed. Any thoughts as a parent or as a minister you want to bring it on the table or to make people aware of it?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Starting this school year will be a lot of students, all students, in fact, will be learning the new K-3 curriculum in English, in math, in science. I think one thing that's really important also to understand is we will also be continuing mandatory literacy and numeracy screening and testing. So all kids in grades 1 to 3 will be tested for literacy, for their abilities in reading and writing. And this is very powerful because this testing is very strong. And once we've done the testing, we can see if there are some kids who need some extra support. And if so, our teachers and our schools have extensive resources to give those children some extra support to help them do better in their reading and in their writing. And these interventions are very successful. And a lot of other provinces and even some other countries around the world are looking very closely at what Alberta is doing, because we are leading the country in early literacy screening. And this is going to help ensure that our kids are set up to be successful as best we possibly can.
Demetrios, as you know, you are a parent, and I'm sorry I'm bringing that thing again and again. But as you know, when you go and drop the kids in the morning to school, and then you are picking up, the school buses are there, and the traffic is still there too, right? The school zone safety, not the playground safety, because if you see recently how the incidents have been, or accidents, you know, all the violence and everything in the school zone has increased. What I was reading it or hearing it, they have issued about 3,000 tickets today, or, you know, in traffic zone and everything, especially in the school zone area. About the school safety zone, you know, creating a safety zone related to the school, when especially morning traffic, picking up time or playground time, because parents are dropping the kids. At the same time, the other people who are going back to work also. Is any plan in place or any thoughts?
Yeah, I think the first thing is just to remind everybody that students are back at school. So it's important for drivers to be careful, not just around schools, because we have to remember that a lot of kids walk to school. So even when you're driving around your community, if it's in the morning or in the afternoon, you know, 2, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, when students start to get off school, just to be a little extra careful, because students may be walking to school or walking back home. You may not be near a school, but students may be walking around in the area. So I think it's a good time to remind all of our drivers just to be extra careful when you're in your community. Follow the speed limits and pay attention for children crossing the street. And as well as, unfortunately, as summer starts to close and we start to get into winter and fall, the days will become shorter. There will be less light, and that we have to be even more careful and cautious during those the fall and winter months as well.
I think this problems you have faced, or you know, a lot of people, we have basically, we're talking this for a long time as the population is growing, especially in Alberta, because Alberta advantage, property rate, job market, all those things, right? But then it also brings a challenge about the schools too. The people who are coming, especially the young family, they have, you know, schools need to be there. More schools are needed. And when we talk about developing the new areas or residential area, and then it's the three governments which basically have to play, the municipal, federal, and provincial. Finding a space or allocating a space for the new residential area, especially for the schools. How you're managing this, especially in this growth time?
Yeah, it's a very important question. Whenever a city, the city of Calgary, the city of Edmonton, or other cities are looking to build new communities, they are required to make sure by law that there is a designated school site. So before a new community can be built, the city and the developers have to make sure that there is space for a new school. We at the province, of course, then come in and we ask our school boards where schools are needed the most, and we provide funding for them to build schools in some of our fastest growing communities. So that's a little bit about how we plan and how we manage. The Premier has asked me in my mandate letter to significantly expand the number of schools in our growing communities. So we do recognize that we are, and our plan is to build more schools. And I hope to be able to have some more information over the next few months about our plan to build more schools in Alberta.
So now is another challenge when we talk about the curriculum and, bringing the school, right? Reason being, as the population is growing, more people are coming, and then it also creating a mental stress. It also creating a diversity. We have different segments of life who are coming. How you are going to manage it? Like, we have veterans coming, different language, race, religion, LGBTQ. How are you going to manage and adjust and digest in this philosophy or in mandate?
Yeah, well, I think it's important, of course, that every student feels welcome at school, whether that's people from different cultural community or people from the LGBTQ community. It's important that our schools are safe places for all of our children, and as well with the new curriculum. Especially in social studies and in other areas, it's important that new curriculum is developed in a way where different communities and different kids can see some of their own values and traditions reflected in that new and updated curriculum. I think if we can all see parts of ourselves in our own society, we can build a stronger society together.
I know, Demetrios, you are busy because there's so many things going on. And last, what message would you like to give to the students, parents, and the teachers?
I think the last thing that I would like to say is I wish all students and families a great start to the next school year. I know it'll be full of new opportunity, excitement, and friendships, and meeting new people. And I hope that our kids and all students are able to do their very best. As well, I also want to thank our teachers, educational assistants, and other staff for all of the hard work that they provide to give our kids a world-class education. So overall, I hope this school year is a success for everyone, and a thank you to everyone who will make that possible.
Thank you, Dimitri. Thank you, boss, for taking a time and speaking to our viewers. Thanks a lot. Stay blessed. Stay safe.
My pleasure.